And we're back, guys. It's time now for game number 2 between TnC Pro Team and the Singapore Rejects. I'm GoDz. Joining me again is WinteR. And we've got a game 2 draft. WinteR, how are things looking?
No bounty hunter this time.
Oh, Bounty's so much fun to watch. Is he one of the heroes you feel like is definitely getting nerfed next patch?
Yeah, I think he needs a slight nerf though. He's just really strong in the meta where getting kills is like, because the strongest thing of the meta is getting kills and you want to fight, and bounty hunter is just slightly too strong in that regard. Maybe
Yep.
just nerf a little bit of the go, and I think the other thing overpowered about the hero is the bouncing toss thing, which allows him to do a lot of damage in a team fight, which he can't do that in the past, but now he can.
Alright, well, we'll see. Undying, first pick by TnC. We talk about them really prioritizing team fight, and not much changes with this pick. Really strong mid-game team fight, but it does also give you potentially scary strong laning stage. So we'll see what the SG Rejects have in mind to deal with it. They actually take 2 heroes from TnC and the Queen of Pain and Spirit Breaker. So a bit of a role reversal here, but very good as far as the laning stage goes with the Queen of Pain, and Spirit Breaker, as tanky as he is, also still strong in the laning stage.
Yeah, maybe it's even a deny pick, so you don't give away Spirit Breaker plus Undying together. It's very hard to deal with.
Yep.
But it definitely doesn't show too much yet. We are not sure what Singapore Rejects wants to do. They can choose to obviously fight. But I'm not sure if it's always the best thing, fighting into Undying, because with Quap and Spirit Breaker, usually teams tend to be fighting a lot with the heroes, and as Undying, you're happily receiving the opponent trying to fight you in the early stages of the game, so you can utilize the tombstone as much as possible.
Oh yeah, that just plays into your favor. And TnC for now going to go back to their stable Earthshaker pick. They really like picking this up for Noji. He missed a few fishes last game, but it did ultimately become a kind of key hero for them, I feel like, as far as their overall strategy
Yeah,
goes.
definitely a hero that suits their team's playstyle, but I'm kind of wondering what it means by banning the Wyvern. So you want some physical damage here, TA, I presume. Okay, so TA is going to be banned by Singapore Rejects, but the Wyvern ban definitely is hinting that something TNC wants is very physical damage orientated.
Yeah.
And TA is the first one that Singapore Rejects choose to take out, since TNC is on dire side, and we all know that the traps plus the tombstone is very, very annoying together.
Oh yeah. We'll see. They've got. I mean, we talked a bit about before game 1. They like their Dro Ranger strats even. They pick Clinks from time to time. So
Probably not this game though, because
yeah.
they have melee heroes. I know they do it when they have 3 range heroes, like their 3 cores are range heroes. Unless they are going to do like Undying plus Earthshaker support, that's probably not going to happen.
Not likely with the Undying, at least. Earthshaker, I think, almost guaranteed to be a support at this point, but we'll see where TnC look to go. For now, it's SG Rejects with their 3rd pick coming up. Denied a Phoenix or the Winter Wyvern. No birds for you. Oh, they say, okay, we'll find another bird to pick. It's going to be the Visage. You know, you can only ban so many of the flying birds, and
Man, you don't need to ban back either, Kappa.
unless you're Cloud9, then you maybe do have to ban it against them.
That hero is so sad now.
Oh man. He just needs a tiny buff, and then he'll become first pick again. It's like, just the nature
Yeah,
of the hero is so
it's
good.
very hard to touch the hero though. It's either he's too strong or he's too weak.
Yeah.
But the Visage here definitely means that they want to fight. It's a good way of killing the tombstone, of course, with the Visage. But at the same time, if the laning phase, like, because they are playing against the Undying, if the laning phase doesn't go too well, Undying can actually bully the Visage in the lane. Because Visage is actually not tanky until he gets his levels, until he gets the Grave Keeper's Cloak. Otherwise, with the first 2 levels, I say if you go 1 point in Grave and 1 point in Soul Assumption, you're still very weak. Unless you go Soul Assumption plus 1 point in Grave Keeper's Cloak early. And right now, Dark's here coming out, so it actually probably means the Undying is a support. And Undying plus Dark's here can ruin a Visage lane if his partner is weak.
Oh yeah. And TnC often do these like kind of 2 melee supports, or last game it was a Phoenix support. They don't pick up conventional support heroes. Like, you don't see Dazzles, Witch Doctors, Winter Wyverns from them very often, but they make it work by even after if they have a kind of weak laning stage, they make up for it later. So
It's like very much similar to CDAC when what they do. They always have like those double melee lanes and they try to pressure you and they keep fighting. Something similar to that.
Yep. Well, it's going to be an Ember Spirit you're up against, and pretty good against melee heroes when he can get up close with the Flame Guard, as well as just having heroes to kind of cleave off once he gets up to that Battle Fury.
I'm wondering his laning phase though. I'm worried if they do Darkseer plus Undying together against Ember plus Visage. I'm not sure how much of a trouble the Ember would run into, or they would actually want to lane Queen of Flame on the safe lane instead. Then the lane would be much stronger.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe the backup for the rejects if they feel like, okay, that lane's not going to go well for us. Let's put Ember mid, and Queen of Pain, who's a great laning hero, can go to the safe lane. But WinRanger likely to be TnC's mid here as a 4th pick, and that's not an easy matchup for an Ember Spirit necessarily, although...
yeah. It's kind of his weakness overall as a hero. He's always weaker in the lane, and if you can get away with it, however, like we see EG do a lot at TI, Ember becomes a monster after if he's able to get. You don't really need the hero to win the lane. You just need him to break even, then he'll do a lot after.
Yep. Well, we'll see what the teams go for the last pick. Clinks gets banned out by SG Rejects. Respect ban towards TnC. And the Dazzle, the last ban for TnC.
So technically they need a support, more or less. Unless they want to run Spirit. Yeah, I mean they can still run Spirit Breaker as a support, but this game it feels like the Spirit Breaker needs to be more of a core position. So you can actually have stronger lanes with the Ember, so you don't get disrupted with the Undying plus Darkseer potential pressure lane.
Yep. So last pick's coming into play now. As we'll find out exactly what it is. They've still got 2 minutes plus. They got all their extra time, so we maybe just need to...
They have a lot of options open here, though.
Yep.
They have, say, I think if you look at stronger lane supports, it's like Bane. I like Bane as a lane support. It's very tanky, very difficult to kill. I mean, Scarab is like, he does a lot of nuke and he's very strong in the lane, but he gets killed easily by Undying and Darkseer.
And even like a Earthshaker Fissure really good at catching him out when he's on the back line.
I'm not sure how well the Scarab will work. I mean, he has a lot of synergy with the start of his chains combination, then you can have a free setup for your ultimate. But in the laning phase, he's very weak. Very easy to kill.
Well, we'll see what they have in mind.
What else is there? Crystal Maiden. I mean, I'm not
Similar
sure.
to Skywrath, where you're very squishy.
Yeah, very squishy. Unless you want to go for jungling heroes, but I'm not sure if that's the best situation against the Undying plus Darkseer lane.
Yeah. There's still Rubik there, but I feel like Rubik has not offered you enough damage output with a Visage Rubik support duo that it'd be okay, but not.
It's quite a difficult pick here for them. Either they go for maybe a Clockwork and run Spirit Breaker as so. This can mean a lot of things though. They might actually go greedy with, I'm not sure if that's the best situation though for them, to go jungle Bloodseeker. That's the greediest possible way they could play this. Or they could just lane maybe Bloodseeker plus Spirit Breaker on off lane and just try to farm the Bloodseeker. This is something that I actually prefer more. Farm the Bloodseeker as a position tree and relegate the Spirit Breaker to a more supportive type of position in the game. I feel the lanes will be maybe more pressure for TnC, and so they have to be very careful with what they pick as their safe laner, because right as of now it's Earthshaker as your support, so it's a melee support already. Your lanes are not going to be that great on the safe lane.
Alright, well we'll see what they do once we have the TnC last pick and we go into the game. TnC now 8-7, 6-5 seconds left. They've got to pick something.
Drow? I'm not sure if they're going to pick Drow here with the
Shadow Fiend, okay. They get what could be... Someone needs to farm the safe lane. We'll have to see if that's going to be Shadow Fiend or WinRanger. Maybe the WinRanger will be safe lane. Raven went mid last game on PL.
Yeah, he was the mid PL the last game, but he's technically the safe lane, the carry player. Yes. And X-Lucky is the mid player. So I'd assume according to their roles, they would go WinRanger mid and Shadow Fiend. I mean, Shadow Fiend plus Shaker safe lane is quite okay against the... Because Shadow Fiend can deal a lot of damage with the race, so you can actually pressure the Seeker plus Spirit Breaker lane. But at the same time, they have to be very careful in the lane because Shadow Fiend is also squishy.
Alright, well we'll find out what both teams have in mind soon enough as they load up into the game. We'll check out some of these items, which maybe reveals a bit more about what they have in mind. It will be Spirit Breaker as a core, and what
Secret
are they doing?
Jungler?
Support
Secret
Queen of
Jungler.
Pain?
No. What?
It's a support Queen of Pain.
Oh, okay. Support Queen of Pain. Okay, that's something long forgotten. It used to be one of Darcy's favorite. I'm not sure if you actually see him play it a lot. Darcy likes to play, like GoDz from Australia. He likes to play support Queen of Pain.
Tongfu did it a bit as well when the old Tongfu squad, like during DAC, they ran the support Queen of Pain.
You have to get a lot of kills though to make it worth it. Otherwise, it's not worth it to get to go support Queen of Pain. You need to get a lot of kills.
Well, we'll see. SG Rejects one Ysera on the offlane Spirit Breaker, Queen of Pain as a support for X Freedom. El Smurf on the support Visage King off an early D ward. It will be Sky playing the Ember Spirit in the mid lane. Chains looking to go safe lane on Bloodseeker. And on the dire side, TnC up 1-0 in this best of 3. S going to be playing the offlane Darkseer. Shadowfiend Raven going to be headed towards mid. Noji on the Undying this time. It's going to be AU the captain on Earthshaker, and that leaves X Lucky. Safe lane Windranger for him.
Much better than the Shadowfiend setting, I think. Shadowfiend would have maybe it would be risky for Shadowfiend.
Well, looking for the double bounty rune, and TnC going to get the bottom one, not the top one. Nice charge from Ysera. Denies X Lucky, and will secure it for himself in that what looks to be a 1v1 matchup. Windranger versus Spirit Breaker.
This is not very good for Spirit Breaker though. This is going to be probably Windranger favorite since your range.
Oh, 17% WinteR. You don't have faith. You don't believe in the church of 17%?
I believe in raw math. 17% of the chance Spirit Breaker will win, and that means that 83% of the chance that Windranger will win.
Oh, Queen of Pain forced to level up Blink.
This is really bad. He needs to get level 2 so he can actually be useful. Or maybe just dual lane top. I guess that would be better.
Looks like that may be where he's headed. As Spirit Breaker saying, don't leave me alone
This lane is actually not good for the Ember. Ember versus Shadowfiend is tough. Because he breaks your flame guard easily with double raise. And you're obviously going to be in a handicapped situation last hitting in the lane as well against Shadowfiend as a melee hero. So this is really not a good situation for the Ember. I guess maybe they were actually anticipating the Shadowfiend to be top, and Windranger versus Ember is actually much more manageable for the Ember instead of against Shadowfiend.
Well, he's going to have to deal with it now. I don't really see any way they can change the lanes from here. He's kind of just forced into to stay in this mid lane now. May get some assistance from Queen of Pain, but...
This Darkseer, however, is going to get a good amount of experience. Maybe not so much of farm, but he's going to get a good amount of experience because the lane doesn't have much killing power against the Darkseer, so Darkseer should be getting a lot of experience here. Maybe not so much farm because Bloodseeker can technically deny everything, even with the Iron Shell there, so...
Chasing the Queen of Pain away, and this is not been a very fun time for Queen of Pain so far. Has plenty of HP regen left, and is distracting these supports, but will be forced to blink.
Whether it's worth it or not, I'm not sure though. You pick a Queen of Pain support to make sure that you get kills when you have your poison plus blink, because he's one of the best heroes at level 2 at securing kills if you can actually blink and get a target slowed down for a teammate to kill. So
Ember is winning the CS in mid lane right now though, so that's partially due to this Queen of Pain, I feel.
Maybe he actually... I didn't really see the whole situation. Maybe the Queen actually definitely disrupted the first wave of creeps. But Shadowfiend's not far behind though. I wouldn't be too worried if I'm him.
And that may change as well, so...
He has a regen rune. It's gonna change.
Yeah.
once Shadowfiend hits, like, I think even right now level 4 he's really strong, but I think once he hits level 5 the lane is completely unmanageable from for the Ember unless he gets help from a support to land a kill on the Shadowfiend.
And that was...
Ember alone, he's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, now that the SF's starting to get souls and bonus damage, at a certain point he just out-damages the Ember so much that he can even deny the majority of the creeps, and Ember will start struggling to get any farm whatsoever. So
it's gonna get harder when the Shadowfiend gets more damage, so we'll see how the Ember does, and it's gonna be up to the Queen to help him. There's no other way out of this, and the Earthshaker knows that the Queen is always constantly trying to gank with the ward placement on the ancient area, so he's always there to making sure that the Shadowfiend is safe with the fissure.
It feels like all three lanes going reasonably well for TnC. Darkseer getting decent experience in farm at bottom. Although at the same time, SG Rejects getting okay experience in farm on the offlane Spirit Breaker, so... Maybe a slightly even early game laning stage so far, but we'll have to see.
And more or less even. Darkseer has as much of a... I mean, okay, Spiritbreaker has won a little bit more than the Darkseer, but I don't think that's too much of a difference. So, and Darkseer is against 3 heroes. I think he's still doing, considering the situation, he's still doing really well. Yeah.
Yeah, this Queen of Pain as a support has been very ineffective as far as finding kills. Has kept the supports busy on the Dire side, and that's where we're seeing these Dire supports still level 1 Earthshaker, level 2 on Undying, and that's because the Earthshaker felt like he has to be constantly protecting this mid lane.
I mean, a lot of things, the Queen of Pain is actually contributing, but we don't see it, just like what you mentioned. The Earthshaker is constantly protecting him, but I don't think that's too much of a big deal because that's usually how you play ES anyway. You stack and then you just make sure that the Shadow Fiend can farm the jungle later and you take the lane. It's always how you play Earthshaker most of the time, so I don't think it affected him too much. But here we see the Spiritbreaker charging on the Spiritbreaker. See if he gets the kill with his bash. Nope, not gonna get another bash. I told you, I trust in the 83%.
And now he's going to find a way out. He's going to charge in a couple of seconds here. SF only has 1 raise. Charge goes through. Here comes the Ember Spirit. He's got Searing Chains and a Haste Rune. Oh, praise the Lord that is S4. And he gets himself a double kill. Ember Spirit in the money. As he finds 2 for himself. And it's not the Church of 17%. It's the...
didn't pay attention to the Haste Rune. Ember, that's one of the best runes for Ember in early game.
Oh, yeah. And Spiritbreaker. Okay, whoa, okay, there we go. He found the 17%. You get a bit of both, apparently. A bit of S4, a bit of 17%.
0. But again, Singapore Rejects coming up with a better start, just like what happened last game. We'll see whether they can actually make the better decisions to consolidate their lead in the mid game.
Yeah. SF still has a lot of farm. He just spent a good amount of time in the neutrals, farmed up multiple stacks. So
what does he have?
Just treads. Well, yeah, treads. And it looks like 1 soon, but he's only 300, 400 gold behind the Ember, despite the double kill going Ember's way. And hoping for another big rune here, although won't be finding a haste again this time around. We'll see what the Ember gets. As Darkseer goes down bottom lane, Bloodseeker using the first rupture of the game, and will be a bounty rune up top, illusion down bottom. So Chains walking into the Undying here, but this is one of the benefits of the Bloodseekers. You can vacate the lane for a support, like a Visage who wants level 6, and then go take over the jungle. So we'll see Chains do just that.
That's gonna be needed every time you pick Visage. You need a carry that can actually go jungle, so you can take the lane. It's very important for the Visage to get his level 6. You don't want to be roaming and participating too early before you get your levels. And right now we are seeing the huge difference in the experience after that exchange. Darkseer is very far behind the Spiritbreaker right now. Spiritbreaker has level 6 very soon, and he's gonna be able to make a gank happen with his ultimate fairly soon. A gank on SF or anyone else would be easy with his level 6 unlocked.
Alright, well, it's already a 2,000 golden experience lead, just 7 minutes in. That's pretty sizable considering we're still at this very early game stage of the game. And having level 6 this early on Spiritbreaker as well as Bloodseeker gives so much kill potential to the side of Radiant.
Has to be very careful in the middle lane once ES is not behind him.
Yeah.
He's always going to be in constant fear when he doesn't see the Spiritbreaker.
No, it's not even just a Spiritbreaker, it's a potential Bloodseeker who can come in, and you can't even TP away from Rupture if the Ember's there. He can just Searing Chains and cancel it, so...
Yeah, like, it's a lot of pressure that the SF doesn't... Okay, SF might actually die here. He's dead.
It looks that way. They're going to leave with the Searing Chains, and here comes the Space Cow. Nether Strike, 1 mana short, not going to need it. Sleight of Fist and the Searing Chains, and Ember gets himself his 3rd kill of the game. He's on a killing spree. Bottom lane, they are going to look for a kill here on the Darkseer. Rupture's there, and the immediate TP. No cancel in sight. It's Chains will take out some creeps to heal himself back up slowly.
That was a really good game sense to have a TP against that lane. Once the Rupture is gone, you can just TP, since the 2 supports don't have any disable when the Visage doesn't have his birds. So that was a really good move there from the Darkseer.
Another charge coming in, and Dire still have no Observer Wards to detect this. This Wind Ranger will back off here. The charge goes through, catches an Undying, but
they are not doing as good job as what Singapore Rejects did the last game when they were up against the Spiritbreaker. Oh no, the Spiritbreaker.
One bash. Charge in 1 second. He'll get this one. He's got the vision from the Bloodseeker as well. Ysera Finds himself a solo kill. Needs to be careful because he may pay for this with his life. X-Lucky with the phase boots trying to right-click him down. 1 or 2 more. He's going to get it with the help of the zombies. That's not worth it for Spirit Breaker. Not a trade he would have really wanted to give away there.
Still not that bad. He spent all his gold, so he didn't lose any gold, apart from giving away a lot of gold to the Wing Ranger. So it's still not that bad. Right now, things are really not looking good for TnC. They are very far behind on
top lane
levels.
There's a rupture here. Shackle not going to latch. No power shot available. He's actually short mana. One more right click would have killed off Queen of Pain. He should have maybe gone for the power shot, not the shackle there, but easy to say in hindsight as Chains gets another kill for the Radiant side. 7 kills to 1 here.
SF is actually going for use this game.
Does that feel like the item that he should be going for based on how things have started here for them?
I'm not sure what's best though, because Dux will be going for the mech though, so getting a Midas obviously it's very risky in his situation, and you don't want to be getting a first item BKD on SF unless you utterly have to.
Well, he's in trouble right now. Gonna go for the Requiem, and it's fire him away. Here comes Ysira though. He's considering charging on through, but we'll cancel. Sky Ferrara has just caused all kinds of problems here.
I'm really not used to that name.
No, I don't even know.
Can you just call him Iwa?
Iwa, yeah, we can call him Iwa. Or Sky's okay. I can call him Sky. It's the full name that gets me. I'm an Aussie. We can't pronounce anything to save our lives, so.
Do you know what it means? Is it a name of something?
I don't. It's like the last name is kind of like a common. Isn't there like some race car drivers who have that last name? I don't know. It's probably, you know, knowing Dota players, it's probably an anime character. What's the bet that it's an anime character? That's surely what it is.
Oh well. But right now, the Visage level 7 has a medallion, and things are looking really good for the 2 supports on Singapore Rejects are level 7. Queen of Pain will be level 7 right now, and Visage is 7.5. And if you compare to their counterparts, Undying is level 4.
Oh, charge in top, they're going to look for the Wind Ranger. They're not going to get that kill. Instead, it's the Earthshaker in the jungle who gets caught out by an Invis Ember Spirit. He won't get killed immediately, but another Fire Remnant forward, and that's going to be the catch. Solo kill.
You know what it feels like? It feels like we're going to get a game 3.
It does right now, at least.
Things are falling out of control, and Daxia is dead.
Yep, Soul Assumption will chase him down. Sonic Wave Soul Assumption. Nice 1-2 punch from the 2 supports. And this Queen of Pain is starting to rack up some levels and even some farm there. Not to mention the Visage already has Medallion Boots, so even the supports on the Radiant side looking good. On the Dire side, you've got 3 very good heroes.
In trouble again.
Charge, no, yep, Searing Chains and everything. Boom. He's just not going to get to this Yules, it feels like. He almost need, like you can see that where the Yules could be potentially useful. Sets up the combo, obviously, and also immediately dispels the Flame Guard, one of the other benefits of it, but he's just not going to get there, and that's really where it's going to hurt him. Like, the build-up for something like a mech is maybe just a little bit friendlier.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for him right now because the vision here as well, the deep wards, because they were able to place this from the gank before, it's given them so many kills and so much information about where TnC is moving. And it's really important when you're up against a hero that wants to constantly jungle to have vision on his whereabouts when he's trying to get his stack, so you can actually take advantage of that. And the Ember's going for an ultimate op plus item. What could it be possibly with the ultimate op this time? Definitely not Lincoln's. I'm going to be surprised if he goes Lincoln's again.
I don't feel like a Manta Rush is needed. Like,
yeah, Manta Rush is not needed.
I'm looking at this, I'm like, there's no Orchid. There's nothing to Manta off. It may just be a Sky Rush.
What else could it be?
I don't see anything.
You're not going to get a Hex.
Yeah.
So it's probably just Skadi. Skadi makes sense on Ember, just not so early. Most of the time, you don't get it so early.
Yeah, normally it's like a second or third item. Yeah, because he's in such a good position where he can just dish out a lot of damage. He's not really in that much danger of going down. But I guess, hey, play it safe, and his spells alone are doing damage. So by tanking up.
What? Did he buy all of Venom? No, not yet.
No. Holding on to
So I'm
Scardy.
not sure. I don't know. It seems weird to get Scardy so early on Ember.
Alright.
And you get it if you are afraid of getting bursted from full HP. Like if the enemy has a very bursty lineup, you do it. But this game, the main burst is like from the Requiem. Ember is usually not so worried about Requiem, even if you get used, because you have a Remnant behind you all the time. You're gonna be able to get out.
Alright, well, we'll see what the how effective this Yule Scepter is going to be now. Raven, also like not a bad farming tool. The mana regen just gives you that constant raise support, so...
And it's good versus the Spirit Breaker as well, so there's a lot of usefulness of the item. It's just the time he got it, because he died so many times.
Bottom lane, it looks like TnC going to start rotating heroes in. They look for a defense of this tier 1. Not easy to do though.
We haven't seen the Queen of Pain actually use the wave yet so far. He got it quite early, but still really constantly just sitting at bottom since, like you mentioned, Bloodseeker's off the map jungling and just doing his thing, trying to get kills with Rupture. And let's see what he goes for after the Blade Mail. Like, Blade Mail is extremely good when you're snowballing so hard. Top lane.
Oh, top lane. Gone in. They're going to get the Shackle. Spirit Breaker goes charging forward. They want the SF. He sells the Yules. They're going to get one kill. Doesn't get the turnaround. 5 HP. Raven gets his TPR cancelled. He's going for the Requiem, but that's not going to pay off.
Oh!
Oh!
Man, that guy was like... Wait, can you guys kill him like a little slow?
Let me charge away first, guys. Please. Please don't kill him so fast.
But nevertheless, he did a very good job there, charging into when they were trying to kill him. Making the space for his team to actually get both of the kills there. A very good selfless play from Ysera.
He's played well this series. I mean, he played very aggressive on the Bounty Hunter, but...
Reckless at times the last game.
Yeah, it was reckless, but he was making plays happen. Like, he was the big playmaker for them in Game 1, I'd say, but... Similar stuff here in Game number 2. See if they can continue it.
Huh, he's going Lincolns.
Interesting. I guess,
So
you can
what
block
is
the
that?
Yules,
What
and you
is
can
there
block
to
the
be
Shackle.
afraid? But why do you need to block those stuff when you're Ember? I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know why you want to go for the item, and you know, it's a defensive item and you're winning the game hard. You want to go for either aggressive item or an item that speeds up your farm, like a farming item. You don't go a defensive item. It's just weird, because when you're winning you don't have to do it.
Rupture catches the Dark Serum. Well, just a friendly bit of 17% coming your way, and
You say friendly, but I don't think anyone thinks that the 17% is friendly.
if you're Bloodseeker, it is. It's like, man, I just got some free Rupture damage out of that. Bloodseeker actually got the kill from the Rupture in the end, so... The Spirit Breaker pushes him, the Bloodseeker does damage.
I can assure you there are better combos than
yeah.
the charge.
Need the punch Bloodseeker or something.
I think I like the swap more.
Charge on mid now. Noji in trouble. He gets dived underneath the tier 1 tower. And that tombstone, Familiars bring it down with ease. Raven could be next here. They got the Sonic Wave coming through. The Chain Stun from the Familiars. And he won't even get a chance to use the Yule Scepter. Sky charging forward. He's got another Haste Rune if he wants to use it. Well, he's already used it, as if he wants to go charging forward. And they're just destroying TnC right now. There is no real comeback in sight, unlike Game 1.
They don't really have the necessary tools to even win the team fights now, because Singapore Rejects has very strong heroes at taking team fights now, and yeah, they have the mech coming soon on the Visage, something we don't see so often nowadays on Visage, but it's going to help them negate a lot of the AoE damage from the Shadow Fiend, and yeah, the Linkers is just plain weird from the Ember. I just don't know why he would get the item. It's very weird. But nevertheless, I don't think it matters so much. They're in a very good position anyways. The casual charge. The casual charge on the Wind Ranger and he hit the Undying.
Yeah, that's handy. And then they
didn't even see him.
The Tombstone isn't even level 4 yet. It's a level 6 Undying.
And Earthshaker's like, what, not even 6?
Yeah, the levels is just brutal right now. When you've got 14 and 13 on the Bloodseeker and Ember, level 11 Spirit Breaker. It's a 12,000 experience lead, even more in net worth, and...
Yeah, I think it's just the result of the way they chose to run the 2 supports as melee heroes, and the lanes don't go well for you.
Alright, well.
Because there's no means of these 2 supports, they can't really jungle, and they rely on the cores giving out a lane, and the cores are not having a good time, so no one's giving you a lane to farm or get experience. So you're gonna be low level. It's normal.
Oh, SG Rejects gonna look to defend their bottom 2-1 tower. They go in with the Ember Spirit. That Lincoln's gets blocked now. And what did he actually block there?
I don't think it mattered, but I think it blocked either
the
Focus
Maelstrom?
Fire or the
I think
Focus Fire or Shackle. Oh, Maelstrom?
Oh, Focus Fire or maybe a Maelstrom proc even. They're going to charge forward. They want the Shadow Fiend. He'll heals himself up, but it's going to be, it looks like another kill. Requiem being channeled. We'll get it off, but the Ember dodges it with the Sleight of Fist. Ysira taking a bit of damage, but he's still pretty healthy here. They will get the SF to the side. It's AU next on the chopping block. He goes down. 4 dead, about to be 5. Ayo. Say SG Rejects, and that's a team wipe. The tier 2 tower we go. 22 kills to 2. 2-2-2. Perhaps...
You were kind of expecting a 3-2-2, but that's 10 kills away.
10 kills away. We got time, WinteR. I could see it happen.
I'm not sure if we got time. If they actually lose another team fight, I can't imagine them continuing the game. It's probably they're gonna call it if they lose another fight. So
yeah.
They need 10 kills for that to happen. So I don't think it will.
Maybe one fight is 5 kills, 5 buybacks, and then 5 more.
Yeah, if the game continues after that, it's like TnC is gonna start a comeback. So then it wouldn't be 32-2.
Alright, well, Roshan, the next objective here. They've got the medallion, and this makes pretty easy work of Big Bad Rockman in his little pit here, as he'll go down, and TnC gonna struggle to deal with an Aegis, let alone an un-Aegis Singapore Reject side. So things only get tougher now for them.
Okay, so they need to vacuum into a fissure and hope it hits on 5 heroes. And even then, even if that happens, can they kill anyone? That would be the next question.
Who's the
Vacuum
squishiest? Maybe like the Queen of
Vacuum
Pain?
5-man fissure with Shadow Fiend casting his spells.
Okay.
So, yeah.
They might kill the Queen of Pain. That's probably the squishiest of the 5.
He's like 1.5k HP with strength threats. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. No ways that's squishy, I guess.
Let's see who's the squishiest. Huh. No one. Visage 1.2k, but he has mech, a lot of armor, a lot of magic resistance. Oh, he actually went for 1 point in cloak only. Huh. That's uncommon. You don't max the Grave Shield.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I saw it once or twice. I think it was maybe at TI5 when Visage was picked. But yeah, traditionally you never would level this spell, but hey, that long duration Grave Chill, we'll see it in play here. It outlasts the win run. They won't be able to get the kill. Here comes Sky. Goes in on Noji. Sonic Wave. There's a lot of damage here, and the Flame Guard with the Fire Remnant will finish him off. The Tombstone has gone down here. They're going to be fighting underneath that. Here comes the Bloodseeker, though, with the Blood Rage down. They get 1 kill. Ruin the dream, but for SG Rejects, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the Game 2 victory and a Game 3, and they're going to get it. GG's called. 26 kills to 3. A stomp here in game number 2 as SG Rejects even things up and force a Game 3 WinteR.
Yeah, what more to say? The drop was just really, I mean, it's very hard to pull off though. It's not even they played that badly, it's just a lot of things happen because of what Singapore Rejects have, the lineup they have. They have a lot of much stronger lanes, and they made a lot of kills happen with the charge from Spiritbreaker. Even though the Queen of Pain didn't get off to a good start, didn't get many kills, but then again after that he was allowed to do her thing. When she has a lane, she got her levels because Spiritbreaker and Bloodseeker made space for her and allowed her to do that. And the key thing I think that snowballed everything out of control is the haste rune. And that haste rune can't be more crucial for the Ember in the early lane.
Yeah, that was a big game changer.
That was a game-changing haste rune.
You have a mid hero who's in a losing matchup. Ember doesn't beat a Shadow Fiend in a 1v1, so that really changed things up there. And well, one haste rune may be the difference there, but it was a stomp regardless. So at least a good sign of things to come from SG Rejects. Game 3 coming up, guys. I'm GoDz, joining me as WinteR, and we're going to see who's going to advance, who's going to be knocked out from the BTS SEA Cup number 1 here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the conclusion of day 1 of the BTS series.